Give me a snack too.
I'm back, bitches. So Victor, oh my god, thank you for subscribing at tier 1. Putting my grain of salt on the certain goal. Grain of sand, can't even say it. It's okay, you're fine. For those of you who don't know, in the deep freezer in the Discord, there's a bit of a spicy asset in there. And I am willing to post it in the post me of it in the Discord for 5 subs. Now 4 subs. So just putting that out there. That could be a thing. That could be a thing for us. But let me move some stuff around so we can play this lovely game. I did get the luxury loadout. Also, I've been drawing this. I've been drawing for Advanced GG. I was gonna animate this little chibi. And here's a sketch of it. And I think it's super cute. And so I was working on that because I was like making the little arms and legs so I could animate it a bit. So yeah, I was doing that. I was doing that while we played D&D. And also new Advanced GG flavor, Peach Rings Focus, has just dropped. And now it is flavor accurate. So if you ever wanted peach rings, but wanted a little bit of that boost. Oh my god, my cat scared the shit out of me. Get it today. Use Milk GG or my referral code below, and you can get 10% off. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I gotta DM my roommate about this though because I want it. Okay. Alrighty. Let me change my category. Cash cleaning simulator. Also, how is D&D cow? Good. I got a shield guardian. For those of you who don't know, that's like a giant. It's a giant like 10-foot construct, like a big giant 10-foot golem, and is really cool. And his name is Crescent. I have 3 kids in that campaign now, 2 of which I made. So fucking poggin', man. I did just take an edible. So the plan is, I think that we are going to play some cash cleaning simulator, and then we'll be playing, and then we'll watch TikToks together. So if anybody wants me to see any TikToks, feel free to post them in the Discord or send them to me on TikTok. BB Goral cleans your cash. Done. Okay. I'll make myself big. I kind of want to be big. Because I, you know, why not? Alright, BLT, come over here, buddy. Alright, and then you already see my face. Oh god, he got pinned to me. God dang it. There we go. There we go. Alright, let's play it. Let's play it. Play now. Okay. I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna turn my this off because I can. And so you can see my face better. Tail. Let's look
look at settings, make sure like any motion blur stuff is off. Video. I don't want the golden washing machine. Brightness, frame generated. That hat makes me think you need a 30-year change. How's it going, darling? You here to let me claim your cash? Is that good? Was that good? Oh, motion blur off. Game. That didn't apply. I have to do it here. This is focus. I was gonna put a joint in my mouth. You want me to get a joint? I kind of want to get a joint. Hold on. Because I think that would be funny. Joint. A joint. What's a joint? Ignore these. I got a few TikToks. What channel do I put them in? Put them in Vibe Zone. In Milk Club Media, there's a Vibe Zone, and you can just put things in there if you'd like. A joint. It's gotta be a cute joint. I don't want it to look bad. If it, oh, no, not leave the joint. Joint weed. Noted, boss. Wait, BLT looks like he's sitting like a good boy waiting for, waiting to ask. Yes, BLT. Is there something that you need to tell me, buddy? What's up, my baby bean? I don't like that one. All these are kind of like not great though. They have like a photo one. Ew. No, those do be fine. Flip. I feel like this is accurate. It's so fucking quiet.
I shitted in my pants.
What do you mean you shitted in your pants? You don't have pants. Did you get a snack? I did. I got some strawberries. They were really good because we went to the store today and I got some strawberries. I was gonna have like a half a bagel, but I've had a lot of bread today, so I decided against it. Alright. Doobie. A doobie for me. A doobie. Oh, it's a small doobie. A doobie for me. Yeah, we doobieing. Alright. Alright. Oh, I forgot to change open volume mixer. Change this to game. Alright. I'm so excited. New game. Alright. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to play this game for a bit. Uber Hacks or Nova started playing it. I was like, wow. I landed here. Where am I? You can take the next quest on the dark app. Betty Oops.
How's the head? You had quite the day yesterday, huh?
Looking professional there, thank you.
Boy. I know this place isn't exactly paradise, but you're not here on vacation. Oops.
Betty Oops be sounding kind of nice, though.
You've got a job to do. Don't worry, darling. I'll teach you everything.
Thank you. Hold on, I'm just gonna fix my face tracking. But I should put it on the game screen, actually. Casual gaming. And then studio mode, screen, epic gamer, cache cleaner, studio mode. There you go. Just righty. Alright. Look, move, control to crouch, spacebar to jump, and shift to sprint. I like this. I like this top bar that you got going on. To pick an item up, approach it, aim the camera, and press the left mouse button. Oh, it's interact. Okay, so I'm opening and closing it. Drop an item. Oh, okay. And then to grab multiple items of objects. Oh, F, and then... Woo! I picked it all up. Oh, wait, they want me to throw it? Oh, shit. Okay, and then throw the item, hold and release Wow. Yeah, make it rain, brother. Fresh steps for Mr. Fresh. Okay, but I think I actually want to pick up this monies.
Hey, Mr. Fresh, it's me again. Check your phone.
Hi.
I sent you a message.
I do like your new phone. It's like a baby monitor. That's what? Not yet, but I will. Wonderful. I'm going to be your first client. All you need is to send me money. Can you do that for me? Alright. My angel. Hee. Listen, mommy has some cooking to do, but I believe you. You're cooking for who? Or guests, of course, but don't you worry, I'll say some for you. Guests, what do you mean? Hello? Okay, mom. Okay, the dark net. Betty, oops, easy. Prepare the delivery. Cubic gift box. I mixed up all this cash, though. Not all this cash looks the same. Create a money pack. Hold on. Okay. Okay, the stack bills left. Okay. Wait, can I, like... Okay. This is a $10 bill. That's a $50 bill. Oh, I'm already loving this because, like, it's getting my OCD right in the erogenous zone, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. This one, this one, this one. And then a bunch of 10s. And another... Ooh. There we go. Okay. Create a money pack. What is a... How do I create... to bind a stack, use a bill strap. Aim the camera at the strap and press E. What is... Hold on, I gotta pick up all the shit I dropped. This is my music. I can play it. Wait. I don't really want to listen to this. Okay, so you got it. That wait, where was the? Oh, here it is. Or F1. Oh, whoa. Okay, wait. When they OCD you so hard, you get a wreck. I know, right? The controls. Okay. Customize. I don't want to use F1. Look at smartphone, manipulate, open inventory, store objects. Oh, what the fuck? I can't customize that? That's fine. F1. Smartphone grab, hacks and blocks. Okay, so I have to have this in order to do the thing. Okay. I need this tape. Give me that tape. Give me. What is this? I don't know what that is. Okay. To bind a stack, use the bill strap. Aim the camera and press E. What's a... Okay, take the money, take the tape and the money, and then it happens? Okay, so take the tape. Wait, what? On the conveyor, place the... Wait, I want to do the optional stuff. To bind a stack, use a bill strap. Aim the camera at the strap and press E. Wait, that's not the thing. Oh, I think this is the box we have to use. Oh shit, there's tape in here. How do I... Oh, am I just supposed to leave that? Wait, hold on. If the strap is in the inventory, press R and select it from the bill strap. Wait, what? What's a bill strap? What the fuck is a bill strap? Create a money pack. To bind the stack, use a bill strap. Is that what? Combine stack bills to create a money pack. Combine multiple money packs. It doesn't say what a money pack is. Then bind it with a strap. Oh, so do I have to pick up the money? Oh. There we go. Hell yeah, bro. Give me all these. Pack them all up, brother. Because I think mom wants all of it. There we go. Alright. First delivery, turn on the conveyor belt. Nice and cute streamer sit here. Hi. I am. Place the money pack on the conveyor belt. Wait for the client. Putting it all on there. Goodbye, money. Thought I was supposed to put it in a box. Nice. I got 5 stars. Oh shit, there's so many gift boxes here. Okay, wait. I'm gonna put this one. I like the placement system as well. New order. 150 bill whisperer. Easy. Send at least 150 bills of any denomination in any box. A flat gift box. Can I talk to them? Hello, Mr. Fresh. I've heard good things about you. We'll see how you handle a small favor and see how it goes from there. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just prefer to do my own research. Trust but verified. You understand. You must also understand that who controls money controls the world. Do me a favor and I'll remember you when I'm in charge. Always nice to make a friend. Oh, I already looked at that though. Task tracker. Oh, but select a quest you're interested in. Set for delivery. Okay. Select the quest. Okay. And I gotta click it. Oh, okay. Thank you for the head pat. I kind of want to listen to music. I feel like this is something we should listen to music with. I can turn it down like a bit. Okay. Okay. Okay, we did mom's. Okay. I think we did it. Okay. Send at least 150 bills of any denotation into a box. Okay, hold on. I have a DM. I have the response here. Okay. And stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna put my present over here. I kind of want to open it. Oh my god, there's money. Oh my god, guys, we're rolling in the dough already. Okay, more tape. And then, did they need it in a box? In any box? Any box? Okay, so we'll put it in this box then. But I have to pick up all the money? How do I pick it up again? How do I pick it up again? Grab. How do I open inventories, left mouse and grab? Wait, how do I grab more stuff? Inventory packs, money counter scanner, workbench. Oh, there we go. Cancel. Oh. Okay, cool. So if I just hold F. It's like, I think one of my hands is full. Okay. Send at least 100. What? But all this money is everywhere. How am I supposed to? Listen, man. Okay, hold on. We're gonna do this the Elaine way, and the Elaine way is 5, 10, 15. So this should be 150, I think. There should be a. Do we have a scanner app? Oh, not yet. Okay. I think that's 150 though. And then we'll take it, and we'll wrap it, and then we'll put it in the box. Oop. And then we close it, and then we take it, and then we put it on the conveyor belt. Oh, okay. Bye! Bye, box! Bye, box of money! Oh, wait, what? Oh, they just want bills in general. Oh, I need another box. Oh, I didn't need more tape. So, wait, I need a new box. How do I get a new box? How do I get more boxes? Oh, here we go. Alright, so just... Oh, here we go. I don't know how many monies this is. There you go. I hope that's enough. I just kind of grabbed a bunch. Bye, box. Oh. Ooh, a big old present for us? A knife? A knife? Give me the knife. Give me the knife. I want the knife. Place a bag on... Ooh, what? Oh, what's the point of money if you don't spend it? That's it. We're going shopping. Wait, you're taking me out of here? Haha, you silly goose. Not a chance. Nope, not happening. We're doing all that shopping online. No need to leave your spot, lucky boy. Oh, so what do I need to spend my money on? Probably upgrades. Money, no darling. Don't your mom... Didn't your mom... You're my mom. Wow, that must have hit you pretty hard. You probably don't even remember your real name. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm your mom now. Yippee! She's my mom now! I liked her voice, so that's fine. Time to shop till you drop. Alright, let's go shopping. Black market. A money counter. Add to cart. And then I buy it. Check out. Okay, it'll come in 16 minutes. Task tracker. Clean it or skip it. Place a bag on any pallet. Place any box on any pallet option. If you want, you can cancel this quest or any other tries. Okay. Place a... Wait, I don't want to put the knife on the ground. What if I stub my toe on it? Then I'll be, like, dead. I'll die. I'll just die. Is this a bag? Does this count as a bag? I guess so. On a pallet? On a pallet? I'm guessing, like, here? Ooh. Our thingy. Pick it up. I have to leave it. Do I have to leave it on the floor? Okay, there we go. There we go. Let me move my knife. Alright, cool. Okay, now how do we use this guy? The golden baby is indispensable on your path to wealth. It knows how to count money and make money stacks and can help you sort bills by denomination. Oh, okay. Your one has been delivered. Okay, so now what? I have a DM. Didn't you get it? What do you think, my little... Did you get it? What do you think, my little star? Ah, you're so nice! Mama's so nice! Don't you just love it? I love this kind of stuff. So soothing for my last 2 remaining nerves. I'm so done with all of you jerks, you know? What? I didn't do anything. Mr. Baby the Soft Russell? What the fuck? Okay, let's do level 1s. Kermit Green, the wet case. Easy. Send 35,000 bills and any wet, dry bills bound in a strap in packs, wrapped in plastic blocks in a suitcase. Okay. Can I text him? Lo, the curtain rises and I find myself in need of a capable stagehand. Before you boxes of what money they are the actors in our scene, you must show them to their marks. What money speaks to the soul? Okay, I don't really want to read this. Why go through all this trouble? Because there's no mere charade, my boy. It is theater! Okay, sounds good. My money is everywhere, though. Whoa, what is this? Can I just put my money in the shopping cart? Okay, and then I like, is that? I don't know if that's, I don't think it's organizing. Oh no, get that out of there. Oh, I just want to get that bullet out of there. Okay, well. Boop. Boop. Look at all this money, chat. How come I can't spend this money? Why do I have to give it to the other people? Moira, what are you doing? What are you doing? You chewing on plastic over there, dog? There you go. I think she's chewing on the stick that's hanging over there, which is fine. She can do that. Oh, baby. Oh. What are you chewing on, buddy? Alright, this had cash in it too. And I can put this in here. Moira, don't chew on that. Please don't chew on that. That's a disinfectant bottle. Don't do that. See? Look what you're doing. Alright. I'll put this in the present box. It didn't work. Trash. Alright. Alright, now I gotta open his money, which I think is... Oh wait, does he want it in? Oh, he wants it in this. Okay. Oh. Okay. And then... Okay, so, and then I want... Monies? 100s, 50s, 20s, 10s. Is it bound and strapped? Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. So we'll just start with 100s, I guess. That's 10,000. Okay. I'll wrap it. Oh, put that one there. So that's 10,000. That's 2,000. How am I supposed to remember all this? This is 20,000? Oh shit, how am I supposed to remember all of this? Oh, it tells you when you pick it up, I guess. Let's do 50s. Oh wait, that's it. Oh, okay. I don't want this box. It's a gross ass box. Alright. Beep. This one. Oh shit, I just realized I probably could have waited. Oh man. 10. Oh. Why did it come out of the machine? Stop, stop, stop. These all 10s? I think these are all 10s. Yeah, but like... Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Hi V, how's it going? Okay, is it because I did the wrong one that it was like, I don't want? Going good, I'm glad. Alright. There. I get the scanner app yet? Because I know that's what scans how much money you have. Oh, is there a $10 bill stuck in there? This is a 20. Oh, it's because some of it was my money. Aw. This is a nice box. I'm gonna move it. Put you right there. Put you right there, my golden box. Alright, so if we did 10. Okay, that's 1,000. When do I get my... When do I get this? I just have to do the math? I guess so. Bad at math though, dog. This one. Ran out of tape. We have extra tape over here. Oh, alright, so now we got... I think this is like... How much is this? I don't remember. Guys, I don't remember. Here you go. Let's start. I think all of these are 1,000. So 100. I think these are all 1,000. Yeah, 100 pieces. Oh, it's saying how many pieces are in there. Oh, okay. So then, okay. So this is 162. So 100 times. I need a calculator now. 100. Ooh. You need 100 times 100. I think that's how that math goes. 10,000. So this is 10,000. Okay, and this is 10,000. And that's 820. Do we have any other, what, 10 bills? We do. That means, okay. I think that means we could cut the... So this is 1,000. Yeah, a lot of like 1,000, like, we're gonna have a lot of 1,000s, which I feel like is gonna take forever to fucking get to 45,000, whatever it is. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5,000. This is 6,000. This is 7,000. This is 820. So I'm gonna put this over here for now. Oh shit, okay. Wait, I could... Yeah, boy, give me all this again. I can't believe that they're like actual like singular bills that you can just pick up, because I feel like that would lag out a game. It's like whatever. Pick this up and do this one. You could probably stack them in 5s, huh? You could probably do that. How much was this? 750. Okay. Do we have any more boxes? Boxes of money. Is this a box of money? It is! These are 50s. These are 50s. Here you go. 50s. Alright, hold on. I want to do these in packs of... So that's 10,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. 9,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we... 2, 3, 4. We'll leave those as like that. And then this is the 2s. Okay, so this is 5,000. Or this is, wait, how much? Yeah, 5,000. Okay. So these are 2 5,000, which makes it 10,000. So that's one of those. 5,000. Wait, was that 5,000? Yeah, it's 5,000. Okay. Any other ones? Oh. You. What? Oh, not you. Oh, not you either. Oh, fuck. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Oh, oh. We have a 20 and a 10. What the fuck? 4,000. What? Am I missing a 50? Oh, there's a 50. Oh, god damn. Oops. Oh, my counting. 5,000. 1,000. Oh my god, chat. This is 5,000. Okay, this is 10,000. This is 10,000. This is 10,000. This is 1,000. Yeah, actually, I should have like one more 1,000 in here. There it is. Okay, these gotta go in other places. Are you also wet bills? I swear to God, if this is all money. I need to start playing. Yikes! Yeah, I made an oopsie. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, then I should wrap these. Right? I might have fucked that up. Oops. Okay, these are also 50s. Bro, I don't know how much money I am giving this guy. Oh my god. What game is this? This is Cash Cleaning Simulator. Okay. I think I fucked it up. Hold on. Elaine feels like she's fucked this up. But I think that one's fine. That's 10. That's 10. 75. Okay. I think I'm gonna cut this one. And then move this guy over here so I can just grab these guys. Not yet, though. Go right there. Oh shit, what the fuck? This is one of my 5,000. That's not the full one, though. It is a full one. Oh. This looks like a job, not a game. Yeah, it is a job. I gotta make my name in this world. 50, that's 5,000. Three. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna send something to someone. Everybody, Copy. This is another 5,000, right? This is 100, and this one's 100, so... Can't wait till I get that fucking scanner app. So this is 10K. This is 10K. This is 10K. This is... 10K. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then this is... 5K? So that's the 5K. And that's 10K. So we need like one more 10K, I think? I think that's the math. This one, and this guy. So now it's... really want the scanner app. I have more 50s. So that should be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5K? I'm pretty sure that's everything, actually. Oh wait, I need to package wrap that, right? Wrapped in, strapped in packs, wrapped in plastic blocks, yeah. Antidepressants. I'm feeling good today. Alright, where's that? How come I can't? I can give him an extra little money. Alright, there you go, dog. Oop. Hopefully that's everything. I think I counted it right. So much moolah, I know. I did it! Fake money, perfect packs. Yo! Yeah, we're really good at this, guys. 50 shades of cash. That's crazy. Hold on. Oh, this is a wet bill. I don't want my dry bills going with my wet bills. Alrighty. I'm gonna hold this guy. I want you to like sit. And then you go here just. How do you know if they're wet? Let me get. Okay, so you see these ones? These are dry. You see this one? This one's wet. This one's wet. Someone fucking snail trailed on this piece of cash. Okay? Okay? Dry money? Not dry money. How much is this? I kind of want to put these together, but I'll just put them over here for now. We also have more wet bills.
Huh?
Huh? Someone snail trailed on my cash. I don't know. The fuck? There's cash right here too. Put the pencils in here. Aw, wait. No, come back. Come back. No, come back, please. Alright. Oh, fuck. Rotate? Oh, shit. I can. Hold on, wait. Whoa! That's so unsatisfying. I can't put them in there. I don't fucking need no pencils. I like that blue pencil, though. Well, at least they had fun. That's a good point. Alright. What is this? Tens? 10, 10, 10. I want the tens to go together. These don't look the same as these tens, though, I don't think. I don't know. 20, 20, 20. Oh man, if I wasn't on stream, dude, I would so take the time to just organize all my bills. That's okay. I have this game forever. I feel like I would do that whenever. Alright. Fucking dirty boxes. Just had snail trailed bills in them. Guess we can reuse them for our next job, though. Boop. Alright. Fuck. Pressurized chemical, risk of burn. Jesus. Alright. What is this? What is this? I'm a level 2. Alright. Alright, who's next? Let's do another level 1. All-seeing. Melody of Risk. Expires in 4... What the fuck? Did they expire? Loadout in a backpack in any dollar bills. Okay. Not all wet cash. Yeah, I think this one's not wet cash. Is this the... Is this the backpack? Is this the backpack? I don't have a backpack. Is this the backpack? What do you mean? Is this the back? Do I have to get a backpack? Packs and blocks, washing, grab, start mark. We have to buy one? Black market. I'm gonna say that's the backpack, but that's what the thing is in. Alright. How do I get the scanner? I want the scanner. A backpack? What do I get a backpack? Oh, can I DM the dude? No. What the fuck? I eat, whatever. Give me the money. Oop. Oh, fuck. Okay. Oop. This guy, that guy. I want all the loose dollars. Feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. Motherfuckers mean to harm us. Alright, what is this? Oh god, I still had wet 50s! What? I don't want wet money! You all go over there. I don't want you. You're all wet. Fucking wet monies. Go over there, you stinky trash pile. I didn't want the money because they snail trail on them. It's a hundreds. $15,000. This is. I want their cooties. Nah, I'm just being pompous. Oh, why did I do that? I need tape. It's because I fucked it up. It's all nice and neat, and we can wrap it up. It's $1,000. It's $1,000. Okay. What else did he give us? 50, 50, 50. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. 50. $1,000. Set of 50s. Where's my knife? Here is my knife. I don't know how much is. That's a not pretty amount. Okay. Oh wait, are these 50? Some of them are 20s. Oh no. Okay, we gotta move this out of the danger zone. I see what's happening. I see what's happening here. There's a little bit of everything, yeah. So we gotta clear out the zone. Okay, this is 1,000. You can have a wet dollar, I guess. Is this how money counters actually work? $2,800. Okay, where's my knife? This is hundreds, right? Yeah. Okay. Put this guy. Pick him up and then put him in here. 3,800. Oh god damn it! I'm not doing math. Oh wait, fuck! I fucked that up. Tape them on up. This is 3,800. Did this. Give it. Nah, I combined the 1,000 together. Actually, I should just be combining all the money together, it seems, actually. Yep. And I'm gonna see if there's any more 100s in here. Okay, you can just go in this pile, because that's where the money's gonna fall. Okay. Any more 100s? Oh, that is not where the money is gonna fall. I did that so wrong. The money falls there. I thought it fell there. Okay. This might take a while. I'll do that one next. Ow. Ginger, gamer of trust. That's what I thought. It's just what I thought. Too bad this game isn't multiplayer. That's true. That's true. 1,700? 1,700. Oh wait, no, I need the tape. So that's a number, 1,700 plus... Okay, hold on, I need a calculator. 3,812 plus 1,700. It means we have 5,500, which means we should get... We should try doing, like... 5.5k? Yeah, 5.5k. What do you mean? Put it in the thing. I actually don't know if this has under there. Might as well go. Oh, fuck. Alright, it didn't have any cool. Boop. Shove. Yeah. And then let's do... Oh, stop. Do 50s. Da 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 da. Yeah, da da da. Gonna get the money. I like that it's combining itself. That's cool. Give me a nice amount. You better give me a nice amount. I guess I could have split these actually to be a nicer number. Do that. That's fine. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that counter? Let's be sure about that. You're so close to 5,000. It would be very unfortunate if you... Oh, we could go get some 50s. I think there's some 50s in. I don't want to take them all out of here. There's a 50 here and a 50 here. I'll at least have the last two. $5,000. That's what I want to see. Take. So now we have 10,000. Wait, 5.5 plus. How much was that? 5,000? 5,000? 5,000? So 10.5k? Okay, 10.5? 10.5. 1, 2, 750, 750, 50. Wait, what's 750 minus? Gosh, it feels like, yeah, it really is. 750 minus 500 is 250. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Alright, now just make sure. That's 500. It's 450. Give me one more. Sorry. So now we're at a nice 11k. Okay. How do streamers play this game without their chat? You know, like you have to have a chat to play this game. It feels like. And how we just need 4K more. Okay. Ooh, nah, this is gonna be nice. Another 2K? Oh, 180? Maybe I have more 20s over here. I don't have chat, but I am playing. That's because you're smart though. I'm just saying, like, I don't know how streamers do it without their chat. Does this have any 20s in it? I hope it has some 20s in it. Yeah, boy. Alright. Paper on up. And I believe it should be money. Wait, what's the problem? What's the problem? What's the problem? Huh? What's the problem with this? You didn't give me a fucking backpack, dog. Is it supposed to be this? I'm pretty sure that's not a backpack. Nah, they don't have to. I don't think. Tracker quest. In a backpack in any dollar bills. So maybe they just want this bag specifically? What? Am I missing something? Ooh. It's a lot brighter in here now. Ooh. Conspicuous. No, there's actually a backpack? Good day, milady. Hello, chaotic kitten. How are you doing today? Where's the backpack? I'm not seeing no backpacks around here. Did they not give me a backpack? I had to buy it? I don't want to fucking buy a fucking backpack. Oh, there's a backpack. Wait, no. Alright, here it is. I'm good, I'm glad. Alright, I just fucking gotta wait for the fucking backpack to get here. Shit. Give me the backpack! Where's my order? Oh my god, it's gonna take that long? Oh my god. Can I accept the other quest? Oh no, it disappeared. Okay. 'Twas my last day of work is understandable, but now it's the weekend! You can have a fucking bitchin' fucking time. Oh shit, you got a shaker? Oh shit. That's cool. Fucking shit, we got the fucking... Imagine if we misplaced the money. That'd be so funny. There. God damn. Take the backpack. Pretty sure we did it right. Yeah, we did. Alright, cool. Exact money, single delivery, nothing else, no marked money, no fake money. Fuck yeah. They're just boxes? I want to put boxes on here, actually. Yeah, they're boxes. Oh, yippee! We... Why? Why did it do that? Okay, whatever. I don't like how it stacked that box, but, you know. I didn't make the game, so... Anything else? But it was bittersweet, but good. That's understandable. It's okay, you're on to... Sorry, I have, like, the hiccups. You're on to bigger and better things now, you know? You gotta worry about those bitches. I don't... Oh, maybe I need more pallet. Oh, wait, there's a pallet right here. Put this mic here. Like that. Yeah. Does this have anything in it? Oh, it's my school supplies. Hell yeah. And then I can put all my... Okay, I guess that's just how it is on the palette. That's really weird. Can't fucking see. There we go. Does this have anything in it? I don't think so. Why can't I put it up here? Why can't I put this? Does it have stuff in it? I don't have anything in it. Just go in. Oh, it's because I have to physically place it. Go. There we go. I don't think I'm supposed to place things up there like that. Because the camera, like... Oh, no, maybe it's fine. Your headache, icy calculation? What the fuck? Wait, no, I want this to go... I don't want this to go up here. This is the first present that we got. I think we got it from Mom. So you gotta put them up nice. Fucking duffel bag. At least it's more packaging for us, I guess. Go right there. Nope, I said go in there. Okay. Ah, did it. Alright. Oh, more boxes. Ew, it's a different color. Ew, no, get out of my boxes. Hold on, no. Ew, gross. Let me go over there. Yeah, only premium packaging for my customers. Alright, let's take another quest. Black market? What is this? Did we get something new? Can we get the fucking scanner yet? I don't want to keep counting, chat. Because I'm bad at it. Alright, task tracker. We're level 3 now. Alright. Your headache. Easy. In any box and any dollar bills. Oh, but I have to have a four? I have to have 4 medals for that one? Okay, we'll do Bill Whisperer. And $100 bills in a black sport bag. Oh, we have plenty of those. What's up? You know, I've been thinking bright colors attract too much attention. What? Worried about your style? Huh, no, I'm talking about money. I've got this flashy sports bag full of cash, 150s, even odd 10s. All the colors of a rich man's rainbow. So what's the issue? Let's just say that these hundreds are special. I can't carry them like this. I need somewhere less crowded to keep my cash. I would recommend it. Right? Discreet, classy, love it. So I'm doing the swap for you? Exactly, and do it carefully. What's in it for me? A share of the money and my respect. Money's fine. Respect doesn't pay the bills. I wouldn't say that. That's kind of... I would not. To a probable kingpin, I would not say that. Just putting that out there. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is this? Wait, what the fuck is that? Is there like a medal in there? What's this? Is this trash? You just give me trash? Okay, where's my trash box? Alright, that's my trash box. I don't have a trash can. Wait, can we buy a trash can? Shopping cart, custom dryer, dolly, money counter. Doesn't seem like it. How do we get the scanner? I want the scanner. Why are our apps like in a bad position? I don't like it. Okay, 10,000s. Let's start with. I think we should start with 10s. Start with 10. With 10s, chat, and we're gonna zip this on up and put that. Yeah, we'll put the good ones in there. Wait, he wants them in $100 bills. Oh, god damn it. Yep. You know, I might have just realized that. Don't know if you heard me realize that live on stream or not. But, yep. Start. Okay. I guess it doesn't really matter if they get disorganized because we have a money counter. The wet money though, the wet money stays. Wish I could dry it. Ruby didn't give me enough money. I should have split it. Oh no. Oh fuck. Hold on. Oh no, I made an oopsie poopsies. Alright. Because there was like there's the mixed pile. The mixed pile was going in with the non-mixed pile. And I was like, oh. That was the issue. I'm gonna like sort these bills. Oh yeah, see 10,000. Wrap it up nice and neat for him. Turn on up. Put it there. Like that it keeps rolling. Bye. Yeah, nice. Exact money value, single delivery, nothing else, no fake money, perfect packs. Good lord. Why does he need a whole bag for 1 second? I don't know. The rich people, I guess? Alright, who do we want to take the next mission from? That one's locked. Rick Scatter. Dry money in any dollar bills, bound with straps of any dollar bills in a dry box. Rewards a custom dryer cryptocurrency. Okay. Dry dollar bills? But these are all gonna be wet, huh? Yeah, those are all gonna be used. So this is all wet money. So we're gonna see, since I don't optional burn. Ah! Oh! Oh no! What's happening? Why is it on fire? Why is my stuff on fire? What's happening? Oh no! Oh, my boxes, my boxes, my boxes! Well, I don't really care about those boxes. What's with my gifts? Oh, what's happening? Ah! Oh, what's happening? Did we unlock a new area?
Burn, baby, burn.
Oh, okay, Mom.
I feel alive. Oops. Wait, you're still alive? Oh dear. I can only imagine the smell down there, Mr. Fresh Bacon. Looks like those piles of wet cash saved you from death. And I bet that money is all dry now. What a lucky boy. Next time you won't be so lucky. Next time Mommy will finish the job and...
Why is Mom being crazy? Does anybody want to talk about why Mom's being crazy? I thought she loved us. Neon lights, my main lights are turned on. Oh, they're just broken now. Are they? I can't tell.
Was that my grandma?
Yeah, she's a little psycho. Seems. Did we get like 3 bags? Oh, we got 3 backpacks. We did, there it is. Alright, these look like all the B50s.
Noor.
Oh my god, hi Noble! Hi! How was your stream? Oh my god, you were playing Cash Cleaner Simulator too! Bro, same brain cell. We got the same brain cell going on, dude. How's it going? Do you have fun? Did Mommy try to burn you too? Did Mom try to burn you too? It's fucking kind of crazy. She fucking tried to fucking burn us. I hope you had a good stream. If you need a raid and run, feel free to do so. Otherwise, feel free to hang out. Mom just tried to kill us, so there's that. These are hundreds. Okay. Hell of a week, but I definitely want to play the game more. Understandable. Well, I hope you had a great time with it regardless. I need somewhere to put this. Put this in here. Those are my hundreds. Okay, so he gave us like 50s though. Huh? There's a bullet casing! Uh-oh. I'll put these. These are gonna go in my shopping cart. My shopping cart of money. I'm gonna move this though. I really don't trust it being next to where it was, I'm gonna be honest. It's a very wide shopping cart. And I want it to do 50. Okay, so there, where'd that bullet casing go? Where'd that bullet casing go? Where'd it go? What the fuck? Where'd the bullet casing go? Okay. 5,000. Bad boy up, 5,000. And then optional burn listed, burn 3 backpacks. Oh, hey. Man, I'm gonna have to clean all this up. They only want 10,000. For all of this cash, they only want 10,000. Asshole fucking leaving me with his fucking mess of fucking bullet casings everywhere. And Buffy, I don't know if I answered you earlier. I don't know why Mom wants to kill us. She just does, apparently. Maybe she wants the money? She can have the money. Yeah, that's a lot of free money. It is. Oh, that doesn't. Okay, well. This guy. How do we throw stuff again? I think it's like. Isn't it like. I forgot how to throw things. How do you throw things? I will, Dippy. Have a good night. No problem, Noble. Love you, bud. Such a waste of backpacks. Hey, man. Throw stuff. I forgot how to throw stuff. Throw is T. I would like to customize that to a different button. Let's have it be this button. Get in there. More 50s. Oh. Okay. I'm guessing this backpack's gonna have more of those, though. Look at that layer of bullets, bro. Oh my god. Not on a time-sensitive thing, so I'm just gonna organize while I do this, because I can. Alright. Oh, why would you mix them? Why would you mix all the bills and the bullets? I gotta clean up my space, man. Come back here. Come back here. Alright. I could turn him into the police, you know? I think we should turn. Well, maybe we shouldn't turn him into the police, because then what if they ask, well, what are you doing with the money? And then that's gonna be a whole debacle that I don't want to get with. But I'm sure Mom would be happy if we got in that debacle, but... Any more things in you? No? Okay. I guess that's his way of saying that's his respect, that his respect does pay the bills. I guess so. you not? Oh my god, the fucking plane's here, man. My knife. Alright, and then there should be more in here. Why does it have to be mixed? It makes my poor little heart so sad. Come back! Playing cat and mouse with these things. Boop. Is there one underneath here? What? Committed the most horrible crime, making Elaine sad. I know! A monster. No, come, give. Come back. Oh my god. Alright. I don't think there are any more bullets. Hopefully that is. Oops. Sorry, I forgot to put that in there. If there's anything left. Honk. Bye bye backpacks. Hopefully those bullet casings don't explode. They didn't do anything, I think. They didn't. Are they burning? Oh, cool, they did. Okay, cool. Sweet. Alright. 5, 10. This wet money? It doesn't look wet. Okay. Oh my god, what the fuck? Oh, it's a dryer. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, put this. Oh my god, it's so fucking heavy. Oh god, I'm in it. Oh god, I was in it. Okay. Not bad. Pretty sure you missed them, but I don't know where they are. Ooh, a dryer. Yeah, now we can dry our own money. Yeah, maybe we'll get like a fucking vacuum. Vacuum, so we don't have to fucking deal with that anymore. Okay. We got all these. I want to put these in like a gift box. Because like the gift boxes are small. So I find it interesting that the texture is going on the notes like that. Stuff on their floor like that. What are these 50s? Oh, fuck. Okay. Nope, okay, never mind. The ones that don't get piled up pretty, you know where they go? In the fucking... Yeah, alright. Let's take another quest. Messages. I'll be back soon. Why does mom hate us? Why your mommy hate us? Oh shit. Oh, there's a whole hey buddy, can you help me out? I managed to get myself out of a mess. Or maybe I'm not sure. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, we did it. Let's spend it though. I want to spend it. Portable UV lamp shot. Oh, being caught. Movable shoot. Bill strap, cardboard box, small, large, cubic gift box, wooden pallet. What if she's mad because I didn't put in a gift box, you know? Ooh, a plastic bucket! Cheap, durable way for all kinds of tasks. A piggy bank, a crate, a floor lamp, steel work table, a money gun, another table, an aluminum lightweight ladder. Not a good amount of money. A sofa? I don't know if I need anything specifically yet. I guess we'll see what the quests want. Barbob? Easy, loadout 220k in a large box, any dollar. Okay. Oh wait, we have like a conversation with him, don't we? Then okay. Did it? Oh, it dropped this backpack. Oh god damn it! Is it gonna have shit in it too? Has cash, I guess. Alright, so. Nice. Alright, now we can see the other ones. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, fuck. Over there. I like the animations of this game are very satisfying and how they pile up into monies. Alright, so any dollar bill 20,000. Let's start with hundreds, I guess. Give us 5K. 5K would be nice. Oh, it already gave us 5K. Oh god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I can see it in the right hand side. Did you get those little rings? I bought the DLC. I bought the DLC. I hoard out and I bought the DLC for this game. It's a cosmetic pack that you can get for like $5. 1,000. Wrap them up. Large box? Do we have large boxes? I don't know if we have a large box. Let me go buy a large box. Cardboard box large. Cart. I want something else too. I want something for me. I want something for me. Get a piggy bank. Alright. Say less. Yeah, this is $5. So I treated myself. Those are sorted. See if we can do another set of... I wish I could change the amount. I wonder if this will give us like the same 5,500. So just 5,000. Nice. So that's 10,000? 10,000? Alrighty. Order 3 has been delivered. Yes. Oops. Big box and a piggy bank. What is that piggy bank for? What is piggy bank for? Can I put money in the piggy bank? Oh, I think the piggy bank's just 3,400, 3,500, 3,500. I think this would make 4,000. Yes, sir. A sexy 4,000. I'm fancy now too. Hell yeah. I turned it off at the dryer because I didn't like how the golden dryer looked, but I like the golden knife and the gold rings and stuff. So this is 5, 10, 14, I think. 10, 14. So we need 6,000. Do 50s. $14, so 6,000. Sorry, the music's like so quiet for me. Alright, this is just not like the vibe though. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Alright, nice 5,000. 1,000. And then we need another 1,000. So we just did tens. I think if we just did tens, we get it 1,000. So let's do it 10. Stop. There we go. Sexy. Alright. Should be. Oop. That should be everything. I think these are these all 20s? Oh, there's. Oh, they're only 28.50s. Okay. My 50s. Okay. Oh, right. Next quest. Alright. Black market. I don't know why it keeps, like, showing us that we got, like, black market stuff when we didn't really do anything. If JW FJW, okay. Thin line, 1 hour, 10,000 in any box. Oh, but we don't have enough things for it. Okay. Spick and steel, easy, 42,000, clean and dry, not ink stained, any dollar bills, and a sports bag. What does ink stain mean? Hey champ, consider yourself lucky. You got the chance to work with the elite. We're the Spick and Steel gang, and we're speaking the Queen, Miss Perfect Polly Proper. So you're the new master of the impossible task, right? We got some bags full of treasures. Well, almost treasures. Some of them are rigged with paint traps, and others, let's just say locks have decided to lock themselves in. Haha, get it? Locks lock themselves. A play on words. Bags with traps. Ha, of course, someone thought that would stop us. But you know, we're way too busy with it. Okay, what about the bags? Toss them or keep them as souvenirs. Who knows? They might not. Might become part of our legend one day. Just don't throw us any marked bills. Alright. Excellent. You know, bandits. Even bandits have to do things in style. Okay. Okay. So, clean and dry. So I can't open these? Open carefully. Do not cut. Return the bag to federal rules. Okay, so they did a crime. This is a literal crime. They want it in a sports bag. Let's do this one. It's like a flashy sports bag. So, no. Paint's trap triggered. I assume they mean ink packs, I guess. But I want to open it, though. I want to open one. Hold on. I'll go open it over here in this corner. Oh, I should turn that fire off, huh? What is this do? Keep it off. Alright, wait, where's my knife? Wait, this one looks like I could open it. Ah! So wait, does that mean all the bills are marked in here? Yeah, I think all these bills are marked now. Okay, well, they can go in a box. Is this an empty box? It is an empty box. Okay, well, you can go in there. These are all marked bills. Opening, I'm assuming open them away from other money? Yeah. Yeah, so I think that means I can keep these. Because they said, like, what do you want to do with these? It doesn't matter, but they just want the other money. So, let's do... We have hundreds, don't we? This. No, my hundreds! We have to get them a good amount of money. So, let's do... this. And then let's do... hundreds. And then we can do 50s, I guess? 4,000? It's kind of not a lot, to be honest. Like, do they just want your money and you keep the paint ones? Yeah, it seems like it. Okay, I think these are all 50 times 100. 50 times 100 is 5,005, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, we'll do 30 and we'll keep this 5,000. They sent some rigged, some not rigged, so they want the good money. Yeah. Yeah, because these ones are... hold on. Open one more. I can store it. I didn't realize I could store it. Interesting. Okay. Oh. What the fuck? Oh shit! These bills are good. I'm putting these in here. I think those are fit. Shit. Fuck yeah, boys. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30, 35, 40. Wait, stop. I don't like this math. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 95, 100? How much is that? Oh, I can't count. Oh, god damn it. It's 1,000. Okay, so I need 20? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, I don't have to count. It's in the right. I keep forgetting that it's just in the right. I don't have to count. Perfect. Pretty sure that's all of it. In a duffel bag. Close her on up. Send her on her way. Rest of these. Yeah, clean cut, baby! I'm getting good at this. This was 3,000? Wait, okay, I want to open this one then. Hold on. I wonder why the so the I guess there. Oh no 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 no. So that means this one should be good. Oh, oh, cause I cut this one. I didn't cut the other one. I just opened it. Oh. They'll be for my display purposes then. Yeah, see the difference? This one's cut and that one wasn't cut. Oh wait. There's money in it. Wait, is that one? Ah, fuck. There's money in here? I don't think there's money in that one. Did you leave one? That's what I thought. I don't think so. So the green ones were trapped. The green ones were trapped. That's fine. Trash can. I actually guess I could buy that tin thing and then sell tins. What I want to do with these? Put them up here. And get them. 5,000. Good to know for the future. This is true. 5,000. 5,000. 5,000. Go. What the fuck is this a trash can? What is this? Oh, it's a washing machine. Wait, did you put a 5-stack on a shelf, Lamau? Oh shit, I did! Oh my god, hold on. Oh, the fucking shit. Well, I could put my piggy bank on here. Hold on, let me put my piggy bank on here. There we go. This is a 5-stack. Alright, nice. Drop. This is a 3K. You know what happens to uneven monies? I kind of want a trash can, like an actual trash can, which I feel is what I can use the. What is it? I think it's a miscellaneous. This one. Wash damn bills. Yeah, I think the next one is the next quest. We're gonna wash the bills. And then we'll wash the bills and then we'll go watch some TikToks. I think is my plan. Mr. Baby! Eddie and Freddy. Is any of these clean dry cash? Clean dry cash. Use a clean box. In a sport bag. I think this one has us cleaning. Oh wait, there was a text. Actually, amount of organ I'd do if I had this game. Yeah. Hey, buddy, did you hear? You had a fire over. Hey, heard you had a fire. Hope everything's okay. Freddy says the smell of smoke can stick to stuff for ages. By the way, we happened across some cash. The bank was running a disposal of old bills. Freddy and I figured out it was an opportunity. We should. Okay, I'll take care of it. Freddy's confident you'll handle it. If he could talk, he'd probably say something like, "You're the best, Mr. Fresh." Cool. Oh, good lord. Oh yeah, these are my paint bills. They're my paint bills. Where's my bucket? Oh, there's my bucket. This is my trash bucket. Because I feel bad using a gift box. Let me go there. Where's my trash bucket? What do you mean they don't all go in there? What do you mean? Oh my god. What do you... Wait. Oh, that's a good question, V. That's a really good question. Let's do that. Oh, shit. Right, that's what... Oh, fuck. That's what this... I didn't need a trash can because that's... Oh! Oh, shit. I think the bucket's just... Was beeping? Need the bills on the... Yeah, well, that's what we'll do. Alright, so... I think we also have to wash these guys, but we'll wash these ones first. Probably should have read how to do this. As a cash cleaner, you must deal with dirty cash. Okay. Is it cleaning my painted bills? Hello? I don't like that there's shell casings in them. Actually, I want to cut those. Hold on, I'm putting this in the shopping cart. Okay. Oh, what the, okay. Well. Oh, it didn't clean the, okay. God damn it, I can't believe the thing went in. I need another shopping cart. There you go. Yeah, it was a really good idea though, so it's unfortunate that it didn't work. I just want to cut up all these bills. God damn it. Okay, there we go. Big truck. Oh wait, what the fuck? Did I combine them? Whoa! Maybe you need special soup? Soap? Yeah, probably. Okay, store. Soft. In a clean suitcase. Oh, do we have to clean the suitcase? No, I think we have to order a suitcase. Not that. Not that. Suitcase by now. Okay. Yeah, and then open and I do that? Okay. Another setting. And then social soup is crazy. Special soup. Whoa! It's like one of those little fun arcade thingies. They're still wet. Oh, they're still dirty. Okay. I have to do it again. So we have to do them on hard. Alright, and then we'll do that in there. So it has to be hard. It doesn't matter. Like, the soft setting really... Maybe as if you have, like, a lesser amount of money, maybe? Really wish I could just, pick up the casings in the suitcase. But I can't. How would I clean this though? I just have a dirty suitcase. I just burn it. Anything in here? No. Okay, now they're dry. I think they need to go through one more time. Try washing it? I don't know if you can, but I'll try. Try to dry these really quick. Okay. Is it 100? Oh, no, ah! Best logic? Well, it's valid, but that's okay. I think it's less about the logic and more about the organization. This is done. Damn it. There's a 20 in that. Oh, fuck. Confidence, baby. 10,000. Two. I need 5 of them. Oh, I need to clean more money. I need to clean more money, chat. I need to clean more money. I like to have to crouch. Shit, my thing's cracked in the back. What the fuck? Why my shit cracked? He doesn't know. No bullet casings. No bullet casings in my home. We didn't do the crime, so we will not be doing the time. Making crack. You should be making crack. Listen. I just want the hundreds. We didn't put start on here. Oops. Alright, I want to start these at like the same time. Because I don't like waiting for one and then the other one's just stalling. I need to get like a table for this thing. I'm tired of bending over, chat. I'm tired of bending over. Good for my back. My god, there's more bullets in here than fucking bills this time. A dirty business, chat. Oh, it doesn't matter. I can just rapidly go. I thought like it had to be precise or like it would pick up like throw away money or something, but it doesn't throw away money. About to be a big old sack of bullets. I think that's a max. That's a big old bag of bullets, chat. Yep. I think that's all of them. And look, it's Papa trash bag, Mama trash bag, and baby trash bag. That's gotta go again. This can wait out here. Oh, I can't add more. I wonder if like the more you put in here, if it's like the more yeah, we're just gonna leave those in there. I can't be fucked. Start. Just look at that bullet. Look at that singular bullet. Ginger melody of course. I'll throw the baby in. Where is it? Where's the bullet casing? There it is. Fully spoke. Righteous hand of God. I'm the devil that you could you cancel it. I'll go throw these bullets away. Oops. Here. And then we take our mama. And then we what the? Burn this. Alright. How much are you? 9,100? Okie dokie. Ah yes, Mama, Papa, and all the trash babies. Yep. It's not a dry dollar. Okay, so that's this is 10? Oh shit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this is actually 5. I think this was 5. Yeah, I think we're actually good. Just making money. This is a big boy. I don't know what's in there. I have a bullet. Nice. Nice. All right. I will pause this for now. I will play more of this after stream because this is fun. I like this game. Well, let me just. Oh no, no. Okay, well. Save and quit. Save and quit, and then we're gonna watch TikToks. Be able to go back. TikToks. All right. Because we have someone new that is showing us TikToks today, we'll be watching theirs first. Let me just get them open on my computer. Okay, there's this one. Wait for it to load. This one. Pause. Pause. I wonder who that is. You gotta go first. You are to be judged in front of the council. Is the council here? Kiwi, are you here? And Boffy? Because those are the people that send us TikTok, so. Okay. Is that an Enna one? Some are cursed. That's what we want. It's okay. Alright. Let me take this joint out. No, we're keeping it. We're keeping the shtick. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna do them in, I think, order. So it's this one. Oh, this is Book of Carly. She sounds like a mecha bear. That's crazy, bro. Oh my god, it's Megamind. Nyan, Megamind. Oh my god, he's so sad. No. There's Kiwi. There is Kiwi. Hello, Foxy. That's crazy. Wait, who is him? Who is he? What the fuck? I sent the suck one too. That's amazing. We'll watch them both. What the fuck? What the fuck? I like that they drew these guys emo Logan Paul. That's crazy. I'd ship it. I'd ship it. Regret being here. That sucks. That sucks. Welcome in. When bro refuses to get into a fandom when you're trying to get him into it, so you low-key just start beating the lore of it into his brain. No! Is this what you guys are gonna do with me and One Piece? This is gonna happen with me and One Piece? Oh wait, I'm not big anymore. What? Thank you for the daily vibe check. Oh yeah. Oh, One Piece cough. That's what I was gonna say. So what? Alright, what about this one? When you die first in a horror game and have to spectate the two most Man, this makes a One Piece video I sent today much funnier. Oh my lord. What is this? Danger, quicksand, stay out. Oh my god, that's so funny. He's sinking. He's sinking. That is crazy. That is crazy. When the DM maybe uses mimics a bit too often. Oh. I love it. I love it. Hearing only frenzied typing after an ADHD-fueled rant to my GM about horrific... Oh, wait, shit. I can't read that fast. Hi, Andrea! Hearing only frenzied typing after an ADHD-fueled rant to my GM about horrifically tragic ideas for my character. This is Boffy. Bro, this is Boffy. Hi, thank you for the check-in. Oh my god, it's Enna. I'm gonna understand this whole lore this weekend. Cause Saturday we're gonna watch the animatics, and then on Monday we're gonna play Enna BBQ. I think is the plan. How y'all doing? Pretty good. How are you doing? Those are great. Those are banging. Please feel free to send more for our weekly Friday high nights. I like those. Those were fucking great. Those are great. 10 out of 10 Soviet though. I like it. I like it. Picasso. The fuck? Did this person follow me back? Did this person follow me back? What the fuck? I think they did. Oh, they did. Oh my god. I followed this guy a while back. Oh my god. He's a cloud guy. He's a cloud. Wait, hold on. Wait. Now the 2 unhinged rabbit holes. Yes, hold on. I just want to show you guys the cloud. It's him. Wait, does it unblur? Yeah, like look at him. He's a cloud. I love it. Alto Cirrus, because it's like a cloud. That's cool. Anywho, we'll start. I think we started with Boffies last week, right? So we gotta start with Kiwis this week, I think. Santa. Also, was me to say, yes, you can call me Oso. If it's easier to, you must call me that. If that works for you, BB, that works for me. I don't know. Yeah. I think you followed him from a TikTok night. I love the way he looks. I'm doing pretty good. Just woke up. That's valid. I don't mind. All right. We're gonna start with Kiwis because I think I try to alternate who goes first every week. So, and if we have Oso bringing us some too, man, we'll get a 3. Thank you for the wellness check. I need to drink some water. Hold on. Wait, does May 5th? Okay, I have to scroll up. Means bear in Spanish, but I don't mind either way. Aw, I like it. That's cute. I like it. I saw a spider one, and I'm skipping that shit, dog. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I think I saw a spider one, chat, and I think I'm not here for that one. Oh my god, I wanted to see this. Look at him, he's so cute! Oh my god, I wish BLT could be him. The little salamander guy. I wish. Hold on, let me get my mouse. And I'm high as fuck right now, bro. So this is what we'll look like. Oh, look at it. He's cleaning it. BB, you have arachnophobia? I do. Like, not... I can handle tiny spiders, but big spiders, anything bigger than like a penny can fuck off. Scary as fuck, bro. Did he use a snail to clean it? That is so cute. Oh, and then he's oh no, he bumped his head. Oh, he's all dirty. Oh my god, he is using the snail. Oh, that is so cute. And now it's all dry now. Even Mr. Snail is clean. Oh, it's too cute. I love it. Snoring is basically bragging about being asleep so loudly that it stops other people asleep. It's like lying, they're screaming, I'm having a lovely sleep. That's crazy. This is the limit of the wholesome this week? Okay, no, that's valid. All I'm saying. The person sending you this wants you to know how I... Kiwi, thank you. Oh, this made our week. Aww. Also, just can I say, this is a fucking essay, bro. That's a fucking essay, dude. I'm sure it's, like, nice, but goddamn. When you're trying to prove you're a badass apex predator, but your mom won't open the sliding door. Oh, that's amazing. I love it. Drinking 3 liter waters daily helps you avoid the other people's Oh, wait. Drinking 3 liters of water daily helps you avoid other people's drama because they are too busy peeing. Stay hydrated. That's smart. He's so small, he won't get that chonky. Oh! He's so cute. Oh. Hell yeah, except I only have one. I want a bouncy house at my funeral. I want to be in it too when all my friends jump my life. Okay. Yeah, no, alright, valid. It's not. Aw. Alright, Bone Pharaoh. A loan at a bank can take 30 years to pay off. If you rob a bank, you're out in 10. Oh, that's so valid though. I'll take that advice. If only I played that through my speakers. It would be funny if my cat came. Wait, what? Secret tunnel! Secret tunnel! Dude, so true. So fucking true, though. It's Grandpa! That's too damn bad! This one I don't vocal stim as hard with. Oh, you almost had it. This one is. Oh, Jesus Christ! That's nice, bold. Older. It's a rock. We said Weaston Dragonlance. Yeah, creepy saw. Ridiculous. Things I'm gonna do. Flip out, man. But I'm gonna get you high today. Jalapenos. We never see you at the club. Okay, well, I never see you at Cherry. Bro, this is crazy! Oh my god, I wanna go. Oh my god, I dress like such a pretty little princess. And then I'd go. I still do. I'm tired of this shit, Grandpa. Yeah, it's a good bit. Mount Rainier loves welcoming cougars and old moms into our. Wait, what? 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 That's crazy. Why do you keep looking at that account? Because it's all about at frog fun facts. Frogs can't jump on ice. Do it. Because he slips. Oh no! Baby, no money. Oh, you so right though. It's alright. National parks are spicy. I give kudos to people that fuck in national parks, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of a power move. I love this! Oh my god, I showed this to my partner, and they were like, this is dystopian. I didn't like rubies as much. I feel like they could have done a better job. All considering. I think the HyperX one is okay. It's like okay. My cat has spooked me. I have seen Aura's though. I do like Opera's VTuber. She's very cute. Netflix ones is crazy. It just doesn't give Netflix to me. I understand it's like I think like it's not US Netflix, but still. Yeah, exactly. Also, Tony the Tiger. Damn, that one's cute. I like it. That one's cute. Tony the Tiger one scares me, dude. The Crunchyroll one I feel like could have been so much better. Honestly, same with the Dante one. Same with the Dante. Okay, sorry. It's a sheep because you fall asleep watching that. Oh, that makes sense. Dude, I keep trying to like shake my leg and my cat is not having it. Why can't I shake my knee? What if I wanna? Damn, it's crazy, dog. Cute. A lot. Cute. Instead of a monkey with symbols, I have this little guy in my head. That mood. What's a mood? He just span. He just span. Hold on, I want to like this one a lot. Send this to someone who needs to be judged by an English. Oh. I damn. BB, do you have to? Oh, I do. Alright, there we go. And I'll put on just chatting. Thank you, V. There you go. I'm being honest, I don't like this monkey. Orangutans? I don't really like orangutans. Like, why is this like this? That right there? Why do they have, like, horse blinders made out of skin? Just, it scares me a little bit. Like, I feel like I would hate to touch that. Like, it's kind of gross. It's kind of grossing me out, not gonna lie. I mean, he's very skilled. Don't get me wrong. He's very skilled. But, it's freaking me out a little bit. It's kind of cute. It is kind of cute. Like the him making a cape. It's very cute. But like the skin flaps make my tummy hurt. Oh my god, what the fuck? A coat of arms maker? I want to do this. Oh my god, we should make a Milk Club fucking coat of arms, dude. I'm so making one of these. We have time on Monday. We'll do it. If I'll start it. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it this weekend. I want to make one of these. God damn, that's the shit. Wait, did I? Okay, favorite did it. Okay. Okay. That's crazy. Do I look like a real boy? The leaf looks like a ball sack. Hold on. This looks like a ball sack. Just putting that out there. I'm in your feed because you need to see helicopter. Turn off my gay friend's internet. Rude? Rude? I'm not your friend. Well, I'm not this guy's friend. I'm Kiwi's friend, but you need that? I got you. Copy link. It's going in the zone, the vibe zone. Putting it in the vibe zone. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Syncrator. That's crazy. Wait. I love the oh I still live with my okay, no, that's valid. Okay. Huh? Huh? Oh, interesting. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wait, is this by Matt Glocky? Fuck it, I love Matt Glocky though. Okay. Oh, this sounds sick though. Ooh. Oh, this actually hits though. Yo, Matt Glocky, you gotta put this shit on Spotify. Yo, bro, dude. I'm so sad that this isn't on. Like, I'm looking at Spotify and I don't think it's on Spotify. I have a lot of good ones in here though. Damn, Mr. Brightside. Ooh. Dude, that's so good though. That's fucked up. That's not on Spotify. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, shit. No. That's crazy. The audiobooks? The audiobooks is crazy. Hold on. I want to look this guy up. Oh, Quan's so fucking. Pregnant by my boyfriend's shape-shifting baby daddy. It's a horror story. Oh my god. That's crazy. I hope that one has audio. Day 2 of okay. She don't play rent, but she helps with the groceries. That's so cute. Squishy face. Squishy face. Get away from me. Oh. I like it. That's cute. You liked a video, then 3D. That's valid. That's valid. Yeah. 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 Okay. Oh shit. That's crazy. That's crazy. I love that. That's crazy. I actually love that though. The fuck did Boffy just send me? Boffy, what the fuck is this gif? What the fuck is this gif? What the fuck is this? Oh fucking shit. It sent it as like a MP4. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? Why? Why would you do that? Mm-hmm. Mood. Mm-hmm. I showed this to Pixels! I want Taco Bell chat. I love it. I love Taco Bell. A Quizadilla. No. Soft. And send many this time, and Kiwi send a lot of the same. Do you want me to go watch yours? I don't mind. It's up to you guys. I like mild. That's so nice. Friend and me. That's crazy. Oh my god, I showed this to Pixels. And he's like, you need to get off of TikTok. That's enough internet for today. And I was like, no! Yeah, Cow, good news. I finally found some music to set the mood for the trailer I was making. Oh, nice! I'm so proud of you, Oso. Good job. Hey, Mom, how much did I oh, fuck. Oh, I love these. Okay, how much? I must have been expensive. Actually, Kebab, you were free. What? No way! Yeah, you were actually brought in shot. You were actually brought in shot through the chest with an arrow, and my mom saved you? What? What? That's crazy, bro! And they named him Kebab? No, poor baby. At least he's okay. Oh my god. That's a move, bro. Can you do it again? Do it again. I want him to do it again. I wanted her to do it again. It is a bit frustrating. It is annoying. Dude, this shit's so sick. Ah, dude, I love beatboxers, man. It's so good. It's too good. It's too good. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. Damn. God damn it, Kiwi. That's crazy, bro. Oh my god, what the fuck? That's amazing. What is happening? Is this Common Riders? That's crazy. I love it. A little creepy, but okay. Dude, that's crazy. I didn't even realize that was the wrong hand. Dude, that's an actual masterpiece. That's crazy. I love it. Oh. That's amazing. Oh. Oh. I have to show this to Pixels. Oh my god, that's sass! Yes, queen! Oh, I love that. I'm playing D&D with my kids. Knees on an escalator, going upstairs, so see you later! Dude, I love that meme. I love that meme. Oh, why not? No, pet his Tommy. That's funny until it's in your house. That's valid. Hello, hello, King Bigger Ruler of all. Welcome on in. The splinters? Okay, hold on, but there might be splinters. That's really cool, but could you wrap the plastic around it so you don't get splinters? Oh my god, it's freaking me out. It's freaking me out. Please wrap the base. Oh my god. This is a new line of specialized care. No. I'd leave. I was like, nope. No, sir. No. No, thank you. Oh. Sorry, I haven't been here a while. Last time was when you were drinking and doing dares. Drinking and doing dares? I don't think I've ever drinking on stream. Are you sure it was me? Also, the fucking... Good point. I do love breakfast. I do love breakfast. Boop. I want a boop. Can someone boop me? I want a boop. Please. Please, chat. Please, can I have a boop? Please. I would like a boop. I want to... Oh. Oh. Digitalart, baby. Oh, here we have one eyeball though. Aww. Aww. So cute. They sound so cute. It fucks me up, dude. Thank you. I love fennec foxes. Fennec foxes are so baby. Boop. I'm taking my hat off. My horns though. Banana. Oh, wait. Motherfucker's like, the fuck you say to me? Yeah. Oh. Why would you scream? Huh. Yeah. Hi, Moira. Okay, bye. Aww. Yeah. Ooh. This is a long ass video though, but ooh. I want an animation of me doing this. Okay. Ambitious, I like it. Okay, Grandma, take your time. Don't rush. We're not going anywhere. Oh, it's looping. Oh. That's crazy. Piggy! Piggy! Her nails are painted. I love her. Pretty little baby. Ooh. Life can be chaotic. Take a break and enjoy this crab eating grape. I want to eat a grape. I wish I was this crab. Oh my god! So true. So true. So true. I have to show that to Pixels too. What's happening with the baby? Why are they doing this with the baby? Oh my god, it's kind of cute though. I love it. Actually, I kind of like that. That's really cute. Wait, did I go too far? I think I went too far. Okay. He wants some He wants some. The gremlin waddle, I know, right? He wants some. He's like, ah. He wants some. Papa, please. Papa, please. Father, give me some spaghetti. Horrible. Oh, no! No! I have TikToks to watch. I'm not done watching them. Yo, that's me when I get fried chicken. Fuck it up, baby, go! Oh my god, I'm sure this bagels too. Yo! What a little carnivore! Okay. Bro, that's me around food. Bro, baby's like, yo, give! Me and my big bag, bro. On God. God damn! I mean, at least they're enjoying it. Holy shit. Oh. I want to have a baby so bad. Babies are so cute. Bro, he's like, it's mine. Nah, dude. That made me want to do the opposite, bro. I want baby. I want a baby. I want to watch them eat. I want to play with them. I want them to scream at 3 a.m. when I'm tired and wake me the fuck up, bro. I love babies. There was a green tower alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains a drug that's a high, not the thrill. Did you know that when it snows? I also agree. I've never seen the Joker movie, but I agree. Like the true shine can be seen. Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Oh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. God, I love the song, sorry. God damn. Oh, wait, this is the last one. Yay! I hit the moon on the grave. Ba-da-da, yeah, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. The rose is in bloom. He doesn't give it to each of them. It's the moon on the grave. I wish they were on fire. I wish they were on fire. That would have made them cooler. Hell yeah, bro. I love the fucking song. Wait, I have to do the TikTok too. Wait. Tiki. Wait, that was the last one, right? Gotta make sure I gotta scroll all the way down. Wait, fuck. Oh my god, my mouse. Breaking my mouse. Yeah, ticky, talkie, check. Checky point. I should just say checky pointy. Drink every time there's a TikTok Kiwi also sent. Bro, I'll drink water. I'm already high as fuck though. I see a good few different ones in here. God damn. Okay, TikTok triple cool. Huh, mood. I'll show this to pixels. Oh my god, this one has a lot of beans. Look. This one right here, this white one is a polydactyl cat. Look, you can see it especially in their thumbs and hands. Look right here. Because polydactyl means they have extra beans. They have extra, like, limbs. Little fingies. I love polydactyl cats. I would love a polydactyl cat. I love when they have thumbs. It's very cute. Please don't. I don't want to contribute to alcohol. No, I mean, yeah, I'll do water. I'll do water. Sorry that I burped, but yeah, no, I'll do. Yes! Yay! Oh, they don't want to hold hands. Aww. Yeah, no, I'll drink water. I'll drink water because I need to be hydrated because I didn't drink that much water today. So, God, I love it. The icon is iconing. Wait, hold on. That makes sense. Good lord. Good lord. Tio just all F forward from getting the same game ending twice. A viewer sent the clip after saying it looks bad out of context. That's crazy, bro. Ooh. Get it, Bubba. God damn. Oof. Oh, that's so nice. Okay.
Huh? Huh?
I'm just gonna. He sounds like he sells trinkets, bro. I like it. I love this. I love this. Dinner tomorrow.
Ignore.
Holy shit,
I'm in the
Beezy!
north.
Hi,
I'm in
Beezy!
the north.
How's it going? Hi, everyone! Hi! How's it going? Me and Chad are just watching some TikToks. Like, the community sent in while my cat wreaks havoc on my desk. How's it going? How was your stream? Guys, listen. If you haven't followed Beezy, watch Beezy. If you want to see the most amazing rigor that made my model move so cute, follow Beezy. If you want someone who like yaps in a way that like it just captures your ADHD brain like so good and it's just so fun to listen to, watch Beezy. Go follow Beezy. We love them. But thank you so much, Beezy, for the raid. If you need to go rest, please feel free to do so. I hope you had a wonderful stream. I didn't know you stream on Friday. Was it a special occasion? But regardless, if you need a raid and run, feel free to do so. We love you. And I hope that those that you sent here with us will have a great time. Yay! Oh, wait, I won't be big. All right, let's enjoy the rest of these TikToks. How we did a special little off collab, and we gotta run and see Sinners. Have fun! Love you so much, Beezy. Thank you so much for the raid. Oh yeah, this was the dinner with me one. Oh, thank you, Beezy. He don't wanna. Oh God! I think the echo is scaring him. Oh baby. Like the fuck you doing? I shit in there, bro. The standoff. Who will get to the keyboard first, I wonder? They're so frozen. That's crazy. They're like statues. Frozen in time forever. Vacuum. Cat. I mean, that's valid. It would get, like, the excess hair off of them. That's crazy, though. Oh, shit! That's crazy, bro. Poor babies. That cat's just vibing, though. They're kind of cute, though. It's like Bingus and Dingus. I would call them Bingus and Dingus. They're actually kind of cute. They're very cute. That's a wild animal! That's a wild animal! That's crazy. Oh, it's the girlfriend one. Okay, I gotta drink water. Okay. But I have red eyes because I'm high and I cry. I like it. I love Warhammer orc voices. Or like the fucking, I just love, I love them. I love them. I love them so much. I don't know why. No, was that soap? Ah! Is it soap? Ah! No, keep the door closed. Get away from me. I'm sorry this man put soap on you. Please, you're We've gotten soaped. Pretty sure that's like, yeah, like dish soap. Now Grandpa gotta take a shower. He's so upset. He's like, now my shirt's all sticky. Why would you do that, man? I was asleep. It was like, don't be so mad. Ah, no! Don't throw that at me. Don't. Stop. Ah! I saw a clip of that on my TikTok and I was like, that's wild. No, leave him alone. Leave him and his orange.
I'm the north.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hi. Hi, Monty. Hi. How was your stream? How was Elder Scrolls? How was the Oblivion remake? Did you have fun? Those whom do not goblin will these nuts. I love it. 10 out of 10. Hi. How's it going? How was stream? Did you have a good time? If you have to raid and run, feel free to do so. Me and Chad are just watching some fun TikToks to end out the night. Hi, Monty. If you guys want a fun goblin to watch, please go over to watch Monty. They play a variety of games and they're really fun. And they have very interactive streams, which I enjoy a lot, so go check them out. Okay, Kitty staring. Kitty side eye. Wait, why side eye Kitty? Oh God. Okay, that scared the shit out of me. Stream was good. We did a lot of Ready or Not today. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, makes sense. Garfield. Dude, that's awesome. Dude, this is amazing. Yo, but I gotta raid and run, go to sleep, so I hope you have a great rest of your stay. Thank you, Monty. I hope you rest well. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope that you guys can be comfy cozy with us. Yes. That's crazy. Oh. The car. Yikes. So pretty. I love that. The colors. Ayo. That's crazy. That's legitness. That's crazy, bro. Was rude. That was really fucking rude. I love that. Uh-uh. I like her voice. Okay. That's crazy. That's a lot. Kitty. Hi, Kitty. That's so cute. Pick him up. 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 No, pick him up. Put down the phone and pick him up. Oh my god. Oh my god, no. No, pick him up. Pick him up the track. Oh my god, did he get him off? Hey, Goblin, thank you for the follow. Oh my god, I know you. You're so cool. Hi. Hi. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hi, I thought I followed you when the Monty people club episode started. No, you're totally fine. You're totally fine. No, you're good. Welcome on in, though. I hope you have a wonderful time hanging out. That's valid. That's crazy. Yeah, just getting off work and gonna see how close your FYP is to mine. This one, this is one's chat sent us, but I'll definitely show you guys the one that I have mine. It's got some suspended. Keep going, Grimes crazy. Oh my god! Yeah! Go, Greg, go! Go, Rack, go! Yeah! Fuck yeah, bro. Huh? That's crazy. I love that he looks like a little guy. Hell yeah, dude. He wants it, bro. He wants it. He's like, just give me. Oh, baby. I think this is the same one we watched earlier. That means I gotta drink water. Oh, gotta drink water twice. Okay. Okay. Oh my god, that was a lot of water. Oh my god. No, I have the my water capacity. Wait, did he fall? Is it? Yeah! It's the badger! Guess what? I already took him. I took him this morning. Okay, that's cute. Okay, that's kind of great though. Okay. Ew. Ew. I don't think this is as innocent as he like led it to be, you know? This is not. This is downright devious, you know? Yikes. That's devious as well. Yikes! Yikes. I would change this. No, that's valid. Oh, so cute. I love it. That was great. Show the when the hammer Vink confers Gale consumes extra items by using them as. Didn't need to do that. Hi, Buster! Hi! This is why you should always look both ways when crossing. Okay. Oh my god! My heart. Okay, but I was sent this video. Maybe some shit like that was coming, but it still got me. I know! Fuck! Cook the pizza. Cook the pizza. Okay. Hell yeah. Okay. Okay. I want chocolate. That's nice. It says a star bar. Is that different? Is that because the first 30 seconds was... Oh, that's valid. Brother! I'm a good baby, though. I promise, chat. Chat, please. I'm a good cat. Oh my god. Wait, where'd that go? Is it behind me? What the fuck? The fuck? Ah! My face! It's on my face. Hold on. I'm a good cat though. I'm a good cat though. Like, I know it's hard to tell because there's a sticker on my face, but I'm a good cat though. I'm a good cat. Okay. I'm a good cat. Do it. Yes! Fuck yeah, brother. I play Goblin. Mm. Goblin, yeah, I play a Goblin in D&D. I have a VTuber model for them too, actually. Made by BZ, actually. That's crazy. It's her shutting the fuck up, bro. Hold on, I'll bring out Biff. Hold on. Where's Biff? BF? No, wrong Biff. Oh, I have old Biff. I don't have new Biff. Hold on. Oh wait, hold on. Let's do it this way. Um. Where's Biff? Biff by PC. That's crazy, mamas. There we go. There we go. She doesn't normally wear not. She normally doesn't has her cloak on. She normally has her cloak on. Oh wait, I don't wanna. Okay, fine. She can go over here then. BLT can scoot. There we go. There we go. Ha! Shit. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Understandable. Well, that was the last one. Okay, I got something to show you guys. Hold on. TikTok. I'm pretty sure. I probably. Oh my god! Oh my god! Things are happening. Stop that. Okay, I'll show you some of them. I'm not gonna show you all of them, but look at the mini toads! Mini toads, bro! They're cute. Look at this barn cat, bro. Cute. I couldn't figure this out, and I don't know if this is a hoax or not, but I like it. My mother orders so many. I love it. I like that they're mini. Did she get the mini ones too? Love it. Oh, this is just a place I want to go to. They make brooms! I also want to go here someday. Oh, this is a game called Harbor Mania. It's like Alice in Wonderland, but a bit different. I want to play it on stream. Oh, I want to make these. I want to make those cookies so bad. Oh, okay. Your tired cat. I'm not moving Biff. So this is January. This is February. I'm jealous of February, but I have a little stuffed animal. And this is April. And this is May. And June. Poor June. July. August got big yawns. I send you this, but it stopped at September. Oh, does it? Oh, balls. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know that. This little guy. This little baby badger. He eeping. Isn't that cute? This is your reminder. Always check your blue-collar husband's pockets before washing them. Look at it! It pierced their fucking washing machine! That's fucking crazy, bro. Like, good lord. Oh, they did it like YouTube. Wait, we'll go back. Okay, wait. Hold on, let me go back. Maybe they'll have like another one. You can mess with flowers. Oh yeah, they don't. Damn, that's crazy. Favorites. What's another one I want to show you guys? I don't have like a funny one, I think. Oh fuck, this fucking got me, bro. I just got those on my For You page. I don't know why. What's this one? Oh shit, look, it's a nunchuck guy. Messing with his boat? You better not messing with his boat. Okay, it keeps scrolling me up and I don't like that. Look at this Enna OC. Look at it. I love her! I love her! She's cool. I can't wait to watch this stuff tomorrow. I want to make an NOC once I learn the deep lore. Once I learn the deep lore. Will end. Wait, no, wait, hold on. I have two to show you. Okay, there's this one. Wait. Okay, everybody's got to scoot. You go over there. BLT goes right here. I go right here. Wait, a little bit over. A little bit down. BLT, you go where I was sitting. A little bit more. Wait, should I zoom in? I'm the meme now. We're gonna have fun with the rest of the stream. No problem. Thank you for stopping by, Gore. Alright. Last one of the night. Are you guys ready? It's gonna be a koala. Where is it? This one. He's just itching his saw, bro. He's a little itchy guy. So itchy. I decided I was gonna stream tonight, so if I'm gonna go do it, I better get started now. No problem! Have fun with your stream, Gore! Have a great time. Have a great time. But yeah, I'll show you that one. And that'll be it for this a week. Bruh. Let's get you guys going to someone going. And then wait, I have to tell Buffy TikTok SharePoint. Hold on. Whoever made that tire cap up, your socks are wet, your food is never the right temperature, and your pillow feels like a sauna. Valid TikTok check. Wait. There we go. Alright. I don't know who this is. But who's streaming today? Who's hanging out? Who is hanging out? Let's see. I'm gonna raid someone we haven't raided in a while, I feel like. Let's play some music. Hold on, while I pick. We'll do this song. Alright. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Oh, we'll do this person. This person's cool. This person is also rigged by BZ, I believe. Oh my god, it scrolled up. Who just says fuck you to the 3 months of the year? I don't know, maybe they were... Yeah, rigging is by BZ. Okay, we'll go raid them. They are playing Among Ashes. But no, you're valid. You are very valid there, Buster. Hopefully we'll find something nice for next week then. But I love you guys so much, and remember tomorrow. Listen, come here tomorrow. Come here tomorrow. Come here. Tomorrow we are watching Shrek 3, but as a pre-party, I don't know what it's called, but a pre-show. We're gonna watch the Anna animation, so that way on Monday I can play the game, okay? Alright, you have fun with Gil. I've seen them around, and they seem pretty cool, so go have fun with them. I love you guys so much. If you guys want, here's a raid message. I would appreciate it if you guys used it, but if you don't want to, that's totally okay. But if you use it, they'll know where you came from, and they'll know, you know, what party be happening, okay? I love you guys so much. I'm gonna go get some food, and I'm gonna go play more Cash Cleaning Simulator. Yeah, Biff's in the corner. Is he here? Wait, hold on, wait. Mwah! There we go. Food, yes, food. Yeah. All right. Have a wonderful night. I love you guys. Remember, be good, be great, and please fucking be brave out there, alright? Good night. Have a great weekend. See you guys tomorrow.